We're going to answer this question before us, which is about the implied/maximal domains. We need to state the implied domain, sketch the graph, and find the corresponding range of each of the following. So here we've been given the function, and it's a square root graph 2x minus 5. Remember, the way in which we think about our implied domain is what domain or what values of x make sense for the function that we've been given here. So as soon as you see a square root, what you know is what's underneath it has to be greater than or equal to 0, because you can't square root a negative number. Then we rearrange it to find x. So that means my x is going to be everything greater than or equal to 5 on 2. And that right there, everyone, is going to be my domain. So I can say that my domain is going to be starting from 5 on 2 to infinity. Now, another way to think about this, and what can be helpful, is giving it a sketch. So we know that this graph is going to look like this, like that. My endpoint is going to be 5 on 2, 0. So that's what the graph is going to look at like. So I've got this endpoint right here, and it's going that way. Once I've drawn it, I can then easily identify what my range is going to be. It's going to be from 0 to infinity, like that. So from 0 going all the way up. So that is the way in which we approach these questions. So think about it logically and the restrictions that are inherent in the function itself. Then give it a sketch, and then you can figure out what the range is going to be. All right, over here, we'll approach it the same way. I immediately know that what is in my denominator here, so 2x minus 5, it cannot be equal to 0. Because if it was, then I would end up with something that's undefined. Then you solve it for x. So in this case, x cannot be equal to 5 on 2, right? So that means my domain is going to be all real numbers excluding 5 on 2. Perfect. Then we can give it a sketch, and that will help us determine what our range is going to be. So we have to look at what our asymptotes are. So remember, this is giving me my asymptote. It's saying that it can't exist here. So that's x is equal to 5 on 2. And also, it's a rectangular hyperbola. It hasn't been shifted up or down. So that means I've got another asymptote at y is equal to 0. And that means my final graph is going to look like this. Perfect. So that means my range, all my possible y values, will be all real numbers excluding 0, because it doesn't exist there. So I'm going to exclude 0 there. Perfect. So that's how you approach these type of questions. Finding the domain and range, giving it a sketch, finding everything that you need to. Perfect. Hopefully you found this useful in thinking about the maximal/implied domain.